modification of income tax credit for general fund operations and/or property tax levy for fire fund operations. Although the city council has not made any decisions on these options, it is considered all options and invite public input before anything is finalized. So anyone from the public who would like to address the council and give their input, if so, please come forward to the microphone. Tell us your name and address and sign in, please.
Thank you. My name is Douglas Kyle. I live at 1331 Carroll Drive. I'm a 30-plus year resident of Forest Park, and I'd like to address this issue. I think it's largely been under the radar. I just happened to catch an article in the Hilltop Press a few weeks ago about it. And in that article was mentioned a couple of public hearings. I was not able to make last week's one, but other than that article, the only thing I've seen on it has been just my going on the Forest Park website. The fact that it is under the radar, and I know it doesn't affect a number of, a lot of people who work in townships, or people who are retired and don't pay income tax to another municipality or something. But there's a lot of people that do live in, I work in Williamsburg, Ohio. I pay 1%, so up until now, I've been able to take that 1%, I gotta pay the other 0.5%. But I noticed here, Sheila gave me this paper, which I thank her for, calculation using somebody who works in the city of Cincinnati. And they're getting hit even worse than I'm going to be. They're currently paying 2.1%, and you're more than welcome to check my math, but I've calculated that with only a 25% credit, in other words, for every $1,000, instead of getting a $15 credit, now they're going to get about I think it's $375 or whatever it is. So they're going to have to pay another $11.25 per $1,000 they make to Forest Park. By the time they get done paying Cincinnati and Forest Park, they've effectively got a personal income tax rate between those two cities of 3.225%. And I noticed you used the $50,000 assumption for a taxpayer's annual salary. That's going to cost them another $562.50 a year. Like I say, 1%, I'm not being hurt that bad. I met a few weeks ago, I was down over the Rhine. They had this little festival there, and they had a metro bus that was showing off. And I went on the bus, and there was a lady there, and I just had to pick up the flyer for the 20 bus route. And she knows, oh, you're from Forest Park, and I got to talking. But she works for Metro. She and her husband moved down here from Toledo a few weeks ago. I was trying to get a hold of her, but all I remember was her first name was Brandy. So I would have loved for her to be here. I let her know that this is what's going on and what could potentially go on. And I think she'd be shocked to find out that she'd have to pay all this extra money. I just want, I understand this is a city council vote. I just want city council members to consider it very carefully before they cast their vote in favor, if that's what they do. I think we should be looking at other options, including scaling back the amount of money we spend. I understand we're the city's $1.8 million in a hole, or, the revenue's down that much. But before we go, increasing personal income taxes on everybody, and like I say, it just hits people that are, happen to have their incomes. I got some buddies that are either retired or they work in a township. It doesn't affect them at all because they're paying. So it's kind of funny how this is kind of selective. I don't know, I'm not saying it's unjust or anything, but it's kind of the luck of the draw. Had I worked in, say, Westchester or Fairfield Township or anywhere else, I wouldn't, this wouldn't be bothering me because it doesn't affect me. but, you know, it does, and I think we need to look at other ways of reconciling this, either, you know, primarily with reducing the costs, you know, reducing what we have to spend rather than just trying to bring in more money. That pretty much sums up what I have to say. So,
Thank you.
all right, thank you.
Anybody else from the public want to address the council on this issue? Anyone else? Seeing no one else to address the council on the issue, Mr. Hodges, do you have any comments?
Only that we have gone through extra effort based on suggestions from council to publicize the public hearing and to invite comments, whether someone is in support or in opposition. We did notify the churches and asked them to notify their membership and made the additional postings. Normally, for a regular meeting, we wouldn't go through the extra effort for the public hearings, but we did because I think council sincerely wants to hear from the public. So hopefully from this meeting, there will still be additional opportunities for individuals to contact council and share their input. I believe there will be another article in the Hilltop, and we thank them for helping us get the word out. So all I can say is extra effort has been made to notify the public of what council is considering, and we've consistently made the point that up to this point, council has not made any final decision. They're merely considering the recommendation.
Thank you, sir. Okay, hearing.
Did you have any timeline as to when a vote might be taken, whether it's this year, next year?
I have, that has not yet been determined or decided by council, and it would be inappropriate to say until after all of the public hearings are done. The next public hearing is going to be probably next Monday, and we will publicize that again. And after all of the public hearings are done, we will, at that point, we'll go through work sessions, see, look at all of our options, see where we are, and then we'll vote. Mr. Hodges.
One additional point related to your question. We, from a staff standpoint, are recommending the council make a decision before the end of the year for several reasons. One, if it is approved, we want to give individuals as much notice in advance as possible. But then, two, it makes a difference of us finalizing the 2014 budget. Obviously, there's a substantial amount of dollars involved, but at least the recommendation is for council to make a decision as soon as possible.
Okay. If there's no one else from the public who would like to address council on this issue, declare that the public hearing be closed. And we have about 2.5 minutes before we start the work.